Hi, everybody. Looks like we're live. Hang on a quick. Oh my gosh. Look at everybody already on. Oh my gosh. So nice to see you guys here. Sharon, Kimberly, Julie, how you doing? Can't wait. I'm going to talk a little bit tonight about this weekend and what we did. Jess, good to see you. Oh, it is so nice to see everybody. So I will give everybody a minute or two to jump on. And Nanya, how you doing? Nice to see you as well. And I thought there was one more person I saw on here. Oh yeah, there she is. Beaks and Barks. I was thinking Beaks and Barkley. Kelly, hello. Nice to see you. Kimmy, nice to see you also. Jody, amino acid trip. I'm not sure who that is. Caroline, Teresa. All right. Yeah, Barkley. Yeah. Sherry. All right. It is so nice to see you guys here. And I'm excited to share. Tracy, good evening. Beardy's mama. Yep. I'm sorry that I don't remember your name. Diana, good to see you as well. So both Diana and Julie were with me this weekend at the event we had at the 3/7 Animal Sanctuary. And it's one of those reasons. Terry, nice to see you. All right, Terry, amino acid trip. I try to get to everybody, and I know that at some point it will probably get so much that I won't be able to respond to everybody who comments. But in the beginning, I just like to say hello to everybody. And I encourage you guys, I love the support that I see between you all. So I encourage you guys to stay connected with each other and help each other through this, because that's what we're all here for. Brooke, nice to see you as well. So I want to share one of the reasons why I like to do these, and one of the reasons why I like to do live streams is because I tried, and I still do other videos that are not live, that are pre-recorded, but I always find myself trying to be too perfect. And I always find myself second guessing the things that I'm saying and going back and recording and re-recording and re-recording. And I love to do live streams because it's just me. It's me. And this is who I am. And I love to just talk, and I love to share what comes through to me from spirit, God, source, Allah, Buddha, the animals on the other side, whatever you want to say. I love to be able to share that directly with you guys. And also because it's real. I am a real person. I am not a retired race car driver. I am not a famous world physicist. I am not a retired movie star. I'm not, none of those things. I'm a real person, just like you guys, who happens to receive messages from animals on the other side of life. And the goal that our animals have, I know for certain that the reason that they share messages like this is because they want us to heal. Why do they want us to heal? Why do they care? They're in heaven. They want us to heal because our lives are meant to be lived to their fullest. Think about your animal companions and how every single moment was spent in the moment, enjoying the very minute of their life. They did not dwell on the past. I joke with the students in my classes that no kitty cat ever says, "Oh my gosh, my mom did such a bad job of raising me. I can't believe she ever taught me that." They don't do that, nor do they obsess about what will happen in the future. They don't obsess about the future. And that's part of what we're going to talk about tonight, this thing called anticipatory grief, and how it impacts us, and how it impacts us even after our animals cross. But first, let's see if I have any comments here. Okay. You guys go ahead and share like that. I will share with you that what I do, for those of you who don't know, besides doing these live streams, and besides doing now these, I got my first email out. It took me a while, guys. Just so you know, I don't have a team. I don't have like a crew. I don't have a production. I don't even have an assistant. It's my assistant is me, myself, and I. And I managed to get that first what wasn't really a newsletter, that first announcement, that first a word from the animals. I got it out maybe an hour before the before the live stream, but I feel accomplished that I got it finished and sent out to everybody who said that they would like to receive that email. But what I do besides this is I have private clients. So there are people who reach out to me. We're going to talk about Murray the turkey tonight as one of the examples. Thank you. Thanks for the words of encouragement. I appreciate it. It takes a little bit of effort, right, to pull that stuff together. And I'm not that technologically inclined. Anywho, I have private clients. So there are people who reach out to me for assistance with their animal companions who are still on this side of life, who still are in their physical bodies, sharing their lives with their human companions. And they either have an illness or an injury, or they're approaching end of life. Most of my private clients are approaching end of life, and I help people find a way to to hold space. And I know that's an overused term, but I can't think of anything else to say different than that. But to be able to hold a place for their animal companions that allows their animal companion to know that they are loved and whole and beautiful and perfect. And whenever it is their time to transition, we will support them in the most honest, selfless way that we possibly can. And there will be tears and there will be sadness, but we are there to support them on their journey as they would be for us if the shoe were on the other foot. And those are my private clients. I also have private clients who reach out to me for private readings. So I love to do a reading or two during these Monday nights. I used to do them not on a regular basis. I just couldn't get myself down to a schedule, which is why I decided to settle on Monday nights. I used to do these little readings, these little readings here on YouTube. And but I also have those people who would like a more in-depth reading. And sometimes I do those like we did last week with that meditation. I will take people on a journey, a long journey, and I will step away and let them have the ability to connect with their animal companion on the other side of life and receive beautiful messages of healing and hope and inspiration and a way to move forward and a way to pull on that little thread of hope that helps us get to the next stage, and helps us recover and heal. And it doesn't mean that we have to forget, but it does mean that our heart can find a way to put the little pieces back together again. Even though there will always be one piece missing, we'll find a way to put itself back together again so that we can continue with a beautiful life. Okay. Then on top of that, I also do classes. And some of you have signed up for my online classes, and I'm so stoked about that. That is so exciting. I teach people how to do this. I teach people how to make healing connections if you want to learn about Reiki. I also teach people how to do animal communication here and with animals on the other side of life. It doesn't matter where they are. We can all communicate with animals. And then this is the most joyful part of what I do is to host in-person classes. And this week I got to spend at the 3 Sevens Animal Sanctuary. We're in Southeast Florida, and a couple of you got to join me this weekend. And we spent the weekend with horses and chickens and baby goats and Leroy the mule. And I can't think of all the animals, the ponies, Romeo and Cindy. And we got to spend the entire weekend with them, just practicing what it's like to share healing energy, learning the techniques of animal communication, learning techniques of animal healing. And I just love those live events. So the more we create an audience here, I will keep you guys informed through that little weekly Monday announcement, which I promise to get out sooner than an hour. Now that I have the process down, an hour before the live stream starts, I will keep you guys posted about any of the live events that I'm going to host. If everybody's welcome to join. Shirley, good to see you. No, honey, I don't need to record. Shirley, you're so awesome. Shirley's my girl in Texas, and she's if I were to have like a secretary, whenever I do Zooms, she always reminds me that I have to press record, but on YouTube, it's automatic, so I don't have to. You didn't get the email. Okay, Sharon. I also didn't get the email, so I send it to myself in addition because it went to promotions. So I do have to figure out a way around that. I'm pretty sure that your email was on the list, but I will always go back and double check. But even to myself, I sent the email to myself and it went to the promotion folder. So if you didn't see the email, you may want to go back and check either your spam folders, because it comes from my business account, and that's the way that Google works. It pre-filters these things for us, for which I'm grateful for the most part. Otherwise, my mailbox would be full of junk, and I don't ever intend to send you guys any junk whatsoever. Won't happen. Sherry, you got it. Okay, awesome. Diana, Alex the tortoise. Yep. Oh, that's right. There was Alex the tortoise. We had chickens. We had roosters. We had Romeo, Cindy. They're the ponies. The Mustangs. Mustangs are Sueño, and LB, and River. And oh boy, if River didn't help everybody as well. So it was very cool to have those in-person events. And the more people that can come to them, the better. I keep them affordable. Like, I don't ever like charge an arm and a leg for this kind of stuff. I think we should all have access to as much healing energy from animals, and animals are healers and teachers in their own right. I'm just going to read a quick comment here. Just had a reading with a medium last Wednesday. Asked me if I spoke to animals. It was ironic because I've been trying to get info out of my sister's dog, who has been weird. I'll tell you something about that. And part of it is the word trying. And I'll tell you because I used the example of Jack. And I know that you guys who were at the event this weekend have heard this story more than once. That when I first tried practicing animal communication years ago, I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to be psychic. I always wanted to be telekinetic. I always wanted to be clairvoyant. I wanted to be a medium. All of these things I can remember back ages ago when I was a young girl, that it's something that I thought, oh, wouldn't that be cool if I could be a psychic? If I could be a medium, if I could. But I thought that it wasn't real. And I thought that it wasn't for me. And then I thought it was all in my imagination. But it never left me. And I've taken courses throughout the years, but it wasn't until I was in my 50s that it all came together, and that was through the system of Reiki. But trying was the thing that put up the wall for me. I would sit Jack, my yellow lab, on the bed and stare at him with all my might, with the most intensity, just like asking him to tell me something, tell me anything. And I would try so hard to get a message, but I was trying so hard that there was kind of like a wall there. And he would look at me like, I don't understand what's expected of me. And you're stressing me, and you are stressed. And so I'm just not going to talk. That's how I interpret it now. At the time, I interpreted it as I don't have the gift, but everybody has this gift. Every single one of you has the ability to make a connection with animals, because we are all the same thing. This is part of what we're going to talk about tonight when we start talking about anticipatory grief. Shirley, I don't need to record, hun. We are all connected in this beautiful web of a universe. We can't see it, although I swear sometimes I feel like I can see the net that surrounds everything. This field of energy that surrounds everything is full of information, and we are all connected. I am connected to each and every one of you. You are connected to each and every one of each other. We talked this weekend about how the most odd set of circumstances brought people together. And how does that happen? It happens because we are all connected. We are all part of the same God, source, Buddha, Allah, the universe, the divine, creator. The name of it does not matter. Call it Uncle Charlie. That the name of that does not matter, but there is a beautiful web that extends out around everything from this beautiful divine creator that put us here and lets this planet Earth float in this galaxy and soar through the universe the way that it does. And we're all connected. And that stream of information doesn't just get given to a few chosen ones. It doesn't just go to Diana. It doesn't just go to Kimmy. It goes to everyone. And Warren, I'm going to guess that your name is Warren, hoping, but yeah, every single one of us on this live stream right now has an animal on the other side, or more than one, that we miss with all of our hearts. My Jack, my Lucy, my Jake. Oh, Jake, who was a foster dog who lived with me for only 3 months, touched the depths of my soul, and I miss him so much. I can see his eyes right in front of me. I miss him so much. And these messages are meant to try to help you not only heal, but reestablish a relationship, reconnect with your animal companion, even though they've crossed to the other side. And I don't care if it was a day, a month, an hour, or 10 years ago. They don't forget. They have endless patience because there's no such thing as time on the other side. They are always there waiting for us and always giving us signs, And I'm going to talk tonight a little bit more about how we can get some of those signs. Okay. So let me get back to where this weekend, complete transparency, For the past week, I have been farm sitting at the sanctuary. So think about that. When a family who runs a small animal sanctuary, a private animal sanctuary, wants to take a little vacation, they can't because they've got to be caring for the animals. So I came here to care for the animals so that they could have a little break. And I get to spend all this time with these horses and such. And they're so special. They're so magical. Mustangs are absolute magic. But it was a very intense week. I'm still here, and I have a little apartment that I'm sitting in, and I don't have much with me. So most of my notes are written on one piece of paper that I have here. But it always comes through, and I always trust that Spirit tells me what needs to be done. And okay. Shirley keeps saying record. Honey, we don't need to record. It's live on YouTube and it will automatically be recorded. All right, let's talk about anticipatory grief. I want to tell you the story of Mary the turkey. And Mary is a beautiful turkey. I mentioned him last week. He crossed last week. He transitioned to the other side very unexpectedly. And I know that some of you have experienced this as well. Unexpectedly, he was sick for about a week. By his last day here on planet Earth, his human companion was pretty much aware that he was not going to recover from whatever illness. We still don't know what the illness was. The beautiful University of Colorado veterinary team was going to work with Mary after he crossed to see if they could determine what caused his illness that came on so suddenly and so quickly. And he transitioned to the other side. And for those of you who ever met Mary is at the sanctuary that I host events at here in Colorado. A magnificent turkey, just magnificent turkey. And I knew that he was sick, and his human companion reached out to me to come spend time with him. I started to share his story last week. I went and shared Reiki with him. And the picture that I posted on the community page is her with Murray, just holding him. And sometimes that's all our animals need, is to be held, and for us to share with them that they're beautiful, that they're loved, and that we honor their journey. We honor whatever journey they're on, even though it wasn't the journey we hoped it would be. We hoped they would be by our side forever and ever and ever. Even if it's not the journey that we wanted, it's not our journey, it's theirs. They are sentient beings. Sentient beings means they have a soul, they have preferences, they have a choice, and they have a life journey that may be completely different than what we know. And so she held the space for him that said, I would love for you to stay. I would love for you to recover. But if it's your highest good to transition back to the other side, then I'm here for you. And I will hold you in my arms till the very last breath that you take. And that's exactly what she did. But it could have gone a whole different direction. When we do that with our animals, and this is not saying, because I have been on both sides. I've experienced both sides. From both perspectives, like where I was in such a place of grief that I could barely function as my animal was crossing. And then there were times, especially in most recent history, where I felt honored to be able to share that space with him. But this thing called anticipatory grief, here come the tears. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make everybody cry, but these are all good tears. We cry together. Anticipatory grief. Anticipatory grief is what we call the sadness in advance of our animals crossing. It often comes when they are aging, when we watch our animal companions aging, and we know that they are going to be crossing soon, and it makes us so sad. We are so sad before they've even crossed. We are sad. And it also happens when we receive a diagnosis. So they have perhaps a cancer diagnosis. No animal in this whole wide world knows it has cancer. They don't understand the word. They don't know what it is, but we do. We do. And when we go into that place, I'm using the cancer word in particular on purpose. When we receive a diagnosis of cancer for our animal companion, we immediately just spiral the worst possible scenario. And we think, okay, this is it. It's over. They're going to die, and I'm going to be so sad, and I'm going to be without them. And what am I going to do? And we stay wallow. Is that the right word? We just stay in this place of anticipating the worst. So that's the other kind of anticipatory grief. And then the third kind is what we did experience with Murray, only we were able to kind of turn it around. The third kind of anticipatory grief is when it came on unexpectedly. There was no advance. We don't even know the diagnosis. We don't know why Murray got sick, but he did get sick, and he got sick very quickly. And over a 3 to 5 day period, we saw a deterioration, a significant decline in his health. And every single day when we were hoping for the best, he was getting worse. And that is also, we were anticipating that he would not survive. But there's a way to turn that around. When we have anticipatory grief, when we are sad in advance of our animal crossing, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no judgment there, because I felt the same sadness in my own soul. When we wallow, I can't come up with a better word than wallow. When we sit in that grief and hold it and look at them with pity and look at them as if they've already crossed, and we are already experiencing that depth of despair in our heart before they've even crossed to the other side, they are so sensitive to our state of mind that they feel that. And it's like it kind of feeds off of each other. This mutual sadness then goes through. They sense that we're sad, and it makes them sad, and we get sad. And this vibration and frequency of grief makes it very difficult for them to heal, because it's one of the lower emotions. When we talk about frequency and vibration, grief and guilt and remorse and sadness and despair are way down there, and they keep our body out of alignment. They keep our spirit, soul, mind, all of our energy centers are out of alignment. And it's hard for bodies then to heal in that way. It's hard for them to transition in peace. And that's what I really want for all of our animals all the time, is when their time comes to be able to transition in peace and not worry and not sadness for us. We want them to be able to pass in peace. So what do? It's not easy. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but this is what I would do. I would hold, even now when I think of Jack and Lucy and Winston crossed on his own, though, you guys know that. I would hold them in my mind as perfect. Actually, Jake is the best example of that, because Jake had the amputation. When Jake had the amputation, and he went through 3 months of rehab, and he lived with me during those 3 months, I pictured him as whole. I pictured him as running. I pictured him as pain-free. I held him in my mind that I just kept saying, all is well. Everything is wonderful. You are wonderful. Look at you. You're so spry. So you jump. You're so youthful. And if I knew that I didn't know till the last minute that he was going on his journey, I would have also said, and what a wonderful journey you're about to embark on. I wish that I was with you. I wish I could be with you. I wish you could stay with me forever, but I trust that you are going to a place that is so wonderful. You will have endless supplies of fresh water and good food and cheeseburgers galore and whatever. I don't know why cheeseburgers. That always pops into my mind when I think about Jake and Winston. That's one of the ways that we can help ourselves work through the anticipatory grief, is by gratitude for what they are already giving us in our life. And even just to smile at them, to smile changes some of that anticipatory grief in our heart. All right, hang on a quick second. I'm going to just read some of these comments here. Humans always go to the negative first. I think because we are taught to do that. I don't think we would necessarily do it if we hadn't been taught to do it first. Okay, Kimmy, animals are not afraid to die. They don't even think about it. It doesn't cross their mind unless they are receiving. And again, I say this, no judgment, me having been in the same boat. Unless we are holding on to them, clinging to them, letting them know how sad we are, then they don't worry about it, but it confuses them. It causes confusion. But there's no animal that ever wonders when it's going to die, or if it's nutrition is causing it to die, if it's not doing the right things, it just doesn't happen. They are not in their heads. Now, I heard somebody say today, and I disagree with this. I heard somebody say today that the reason that animals are not afraid to die is because they're not self-aware. And no, I completely disagree with that. I think our animals, after I have spent so much time now, every single day, day after day after day, I spend with animals of all kinds, of all species, I think they're very self-aware. I think they understand more than we have ever given them credit for. I think that our animal companions are so smart and so intelligent and so directly connected to source, so directly connected to God. Um, yeah, I think more than we can possibly imagine. They're not afraid to die. They are not afraid. And for those of you who haven't heard this before, they cross instantly. And we can talk about that for another video too, about how they cross, like how does that actually happen? How does their soul leave their body? It happens just the same as with humans, and maybe that's what I will talk about next week. Let me got blessed enough to share Reiki with my dad and my lab. Yeah, Julie. Right. Even though it hurts, the hurt is okay. And I have felt the hurt. Winston hurt my heart. It's okay to feel the hurt. We have these feelings for a reason, but to be able to, Reiki is universal love. That's what Reiki is. Reiki is just universal love that is all in this web of interconnected. It's all love, 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 love. Love is the action verb. It's not just an emotion. It's not just a feeling. It is a thing. It is an action, and it heals. Love is what heals everything. And when we can turn the hurt into love, or turn the grief into gratitude, it just, something changes a little bit. Something just changes that helps us. Anticipatory healing. Maybe that's what I'm going for. Anticipatory healing. Think about what it's like to come out the other side. Anticipate how beautiful it will feel to know that you're still connected with your animal companion, that you can talk to them, that you can talk to your dad, Julie. I talk to my dad all the time. I talk to my father all the time, and I get answers. How do I get answers? Because I listen. I'm wide open. I have total belief. I think without the belief, it's a little bit harder. I totally believe that every single soul is connected, whether we sit in a physical body or whether, and I say the other side because there's no better word for it, or whether we have left our physical body and our soul has now gone to wherever it is that it goes. There's no other, like, there's no place. There's not like, like this house in heaven that all the souls go to. It's everywhere, all the time, in everything. I'll find better words for that as time goes on. Teresa, I agree with you. Thank you. How do I get a higher vibration if all the time I do is, okay, everything I do is cry? Yep. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let me check my notes here real quick. Okay, one of the ways is thankfulness. One of the ways is gratitude. Even if it makes you cry, I think about the things that I am most grateful for. I think about Lucy. So let's go with Lucy. Lucy is the one who was a foodie. Lucy loved food so much. She once ate a whole pumpkin pie. She she ate a whole loaf of rye bread. She actually ate on one Thanksgiving. She ate all the pie crusts that we had made for our pies. She was such a foodie, total foodie. You couldn't leave food anywhere because she was all over it. So if I'm crying or feeling a moment of guilt or thinking, boy, I wish I'd have done something differently. There's something I feel like that's a lot of it. Regret is that coulda, shoulda, woulda done something differently. And if something is making me cry so much, and there's a reason why we cry so much, it's a direct reflection of the amount of love that we felt for them. And no other creature has ever loved us as unconditionally as our animal companions have. So it really is almost, if not always, more painful or equally painful as when a human companion dies, because our animal companions have loved us completely, unconditionally. And no animal, I mean, like we've said this before, they've never judged us. They never judged us for a bad hair day. They never judge us for something we did or didn't do. They just don't. They love us for just exactly who we are, the way we are. And so when they leave us, we cry. We cry. There's no doubt about it. We cry. So think about the things that made you the happiest when you were with them. And even if you have to smile through the tears, think about the things that made you the happiest and use your imagination. That's one of the things I want to talk about also this evening. Use your imagination. The foodie was Rebel and Ho'oponopono. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm reading all the comments and thinking all kinds of things right now. Ho'oponopono is possibly one of the best ways that we can ever heal. Ho'oponopono, I did it a couple weeks ago. It's that Hawaiian forgiveness practice. If you want to go back and watch that video, I would encourage you to, or go, it doesn't matter if you don't want to watch mine, go look up Ho'oponopono on YouTube and you'll find plenty of videos. I can't think of anybody's name off the top of my head who I know has done them. I just can't think of anything, but that's okay because I wasn't prepared. Ho'oponopono is the forgiveness practice. And the word ho'oponopono, as we know it translates to, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. And just repeat the word ho'oponopono. It's magic. It's absolute magic. Look up Aaron Doty. He does a ho'oponopono meditation that I really like. It's about forgiveness, and it's forgiveness for everything. It's forgiveness for yourself. It's forgiveness for your animal companion for crossing without you. It's forgiveness for your spouse. It's forgiveness for God for leaving you with this hurt as your animal companion goes off to heaven. It's forgiveness for everything. Universal forgiveness through Ho'oponopono. So that's a great practice. The other practice I saw, and the comments are flying by now, so I'm going to have to. I won't be able to read them all, but one of them was about signs. I think I might still see that. Look for the signs. Look for the signs and believe. One of the ways to look for the signs that you receive from your animal, they will always, always, always try to connect with you. They will not ever stop trying to connect with you until the day, if they haven't made the connection and it's your time to cross over, well, then you'll know, because then you'll be on the other side with them. They will never stop trying to connect with you, and they connect with us through all kinds of signs. We've talked about the signs before: angel numbers, rainbows, shooting stars, butterflies, the sound of their toenails clicking on the floor, Jack drinking from the toilet, whatever. They will try everything to get your attention. They'll come to you in dreams. We don't always remember our dreams, but they come to us in our dreams. If you can use your imagination, it's a wonderful way to get a sign. Think about, and if you wanted to close your eyes, just close your eyes and use your imagination. If you could get any sign you wanted from your animal companion, what would it be? And then I want you to imagine it. Imagine it. What's the sign that you want to get from your animal companion? I would love to see a double rainbow. I would love to see a double rainbow. And I want you to imagine what it would be like when you get into your car tomorrow morning and you turn on the ignition and you pull out of your driveway, and there above your house is a beautiful double rainbow. Visualize it in your mind. Think about it. It's not, at that moment in time, it's not real, but you're creating it. You are creating it. And even if it's not the rainbow, you have created the little crack in the door that's going to allow the signs to start to come through, because you're believing in the possibility of the signs. There was one more piece that just came to me about imagination. Use the imagination for your signs. Oh, someone said to me, they sent me a private email that said, or they might have commented on one of the posts. It said, I think that I'm getting signs from my animal companion. I think that I hear them every once in a while, or I think that I see something every once in a while. But how do I know that it's not my imagination? It is your imagination. Using imagination in a whole different way. We are taught when we are little, it is just in our imagination. When the horse bit me on the hand when I was 5 years old, and I said, the horse just apologized, and I was told, that is my imagination. No, it's not just my imagination. Imagination is your gift from God. Imagination is God. Listen to, trying to think of the other guy who talks about imagination, Neville Goddard talks about the power of imagination. That where do thoughts come from? Where does your imagination come from? It's not make believe, it is make believe. That is imagination. When you can use your imagination to help you create those signs and to help you create the connection with your animal companion, use your imagination. It is very powerful, and your animal will help you. They'll guide you through the whole process. And the next you know, you're going to be seeing signs everywhere. You're going to be having dreams. They're going to be right there with you. And as soon as that happens, the healing becomes almost instantaneous. The healing is so strong and so fast because now you believe, and then it creates an even better cycle of anticipatory healing and anticipatory joy. Think about how wonderful it is now that every single day you get a sign. Every single day from here on in, and not just a sign. You can talk to your animal companion and get answers. Our connection to God, I'm going to use the word God for convenience, is all about an exchange of information. We are receiving information every single day in our life. Everything about us is information. And we are also sending it back out to the universe. Whether we are sending back out grief or sending back out joy, it's this beautiful exchange of information. Pretend. Do a little pretend exercise of how beautiful it feels to be happy again, to be joyful again, to talk to your animal companion every single day. I talk to Lucy, I talk to Jack, I talk to Jake. I talk to all of my animals all the time. I talk to my father. I talk to everybody that I've got. There's a host of people, as I'm sure with you guys too, all on the other side. They're like a team. They're a team ready to support us if we would just be willing to ask for the help and ask for their help. Okay, that really just went off topic of what I was thinking about, but let me read some comments. I did it before through Anthony Guy Parker. Okay, Teresa, I think you may be talking about Ho'oponopono. Okay, yep. Ho'oponopono. You've almost got it spelled there, right? Ho'oponopono. Well, look, we're all going Ho'oponopono. We've all got Ho'oponopono going on here. Zest for life, but he was failing. That was the hardest. Yep, it is hard. It's hard to watch our animals as they fail, as their little bodies fail. Jack's body was failing. Lucy's body absolutely failed. But Ho'oponopono is just, yeah. If there's nothing else that you did, I would sit down for 5 minutes every morning or every night before you go to sleep. Do it every night before you go to bed. And I like to do it at that time, either right as I'm waking up or right as I'm going to sleep, because then my conscious mind has started to close down and my subconscious mind comes forward. And then there's always the super conscious mind, which is the mind that's really connected to everything on the other side. You used to fall asleep saying Ho'oponopono, and you can't help but feel better in the morning. Even if it's just a little bit better, you can't help but feel better. Do it every night, and they say that it takes 21 days to make a habit. 21 days, we're so linear and time-focused here on Earth. But you can have an instantaneous healing, or do it every day for 3 weeks and see how it makes you feel. I'm going to read some more comments, and then I don't want to lose track of time and our reading. Really deep dreams when my cat slept next to me. You do see in your dreams, and yep, absolutely. They will come through. Hey, who's the Packers fan? Jess Taylor. I see that little Green Bay Packer thing. I think that's what it is. Okay, squirrel. Deep dreams. Yeah, dreams are a wonderful way. Here's what I like to do for dreams. If you want to receive a sign from your animals on the other side, when you go to sleep at night, you can ask them to come to you in your dreams. I would keep a pen and paper right by my bed. And then if you're dreaming of them, the second you wake up, write it down. The second you wake up, because we know how dreams are. They're like, they just, that you get up out of bed and you go to the bathroom. The next thing you know, all the dreams, I completely forgot them. But yeah, those dreams are there for you. But I do want to share something with you guys. Here in this little apartment where I don't normally stay, I'm in Florida. I was going to sleep the other night and I was laying in the bed all by myself, and it was, nice and quiet. I'm going to sleep, and a cat jumped on the bed, and I thought, what? It jumped on my feet. The cat jumped on my bed, and I thought, what the heck? And I sat up, and of course, there's no cat there. So I'm curious. I don't have a cat, and I haven't ever had a cat that was part of my life that crossed to the other side. I have had a couple of feral stray cats that were part of my life, but they were on their own journey. So I would love to know what cat jumped on my bed. I've been asking every night to get a sign of which kitty cat jumped right on me. That made me feel so clear. But that's another easy way to get a sign. It's so easy. It's so obvious when they jump on the bed and you feel them. You're like, oh, was that? And then you talk yourself out of it. No, that couldn't have possibly been a cat. No, that wasn't my dog. Yeah, it was. Spelling. Yeah, Teresa. I was just joking. And then somebody spelled it hoop. Started having a really strong memory pop into your head. Memories are a good way to get started. Focus on those memories. Think about the memories. Really think about the good memories, and then hear the purring. Yep, absolutely. That is a great way to get started with receiving signs. Have it happen all the time. Good. Annabelle Shirley. All right. So I will ask tonight before I go to sleep if that was Annabelle. So it's nice to see you here, Shirley. Yeah. All right. So maybe it was Annabelle. All I know is that a cat jumped on the bed, and I knew it was a cat, and I felt it as clear as day. Okay. Let's keep going here. So I wanted to talk about anticipatory grief, that it is something we all experience if we know in advance that our animal companion is going to cross. And sometimes we experience it even when our animal companion is perfectly fine and healthy and youthful. We can't help but thinking about the day, oh my gosh, my time with them is so short. What will I do? What will I possibly do when they cross? And the best thing to do is to build good memories. If your animal companions right now are still with you here present on physical earth, I would try to start communicating with them. I would try to practice Reiki, and maybe I'll do a Reiki session for you guys one of these weeks. This week or next week, maybe I'll teach you a little bit about Reiki so that you can make a connection with your animal companions who are present with you now. That way, it makes the whole process easier by the time comes. We're all learning. We're all on this journey together. When I think back to the animals who've been part of my life before I ever heard of the word Reiki, which was not until I was like 52 years old, I think of all the animal companions that were part of my life. And if I could go back in time and redo some of the things I would change situations. I would change some of the situations. And I know that my animal companions now, regardless, they're just so happy all together over there. And here's the other thing I like to think about. I know that my dad, who was a total animal lover, I know that he is with all of my animals now. And it takes the edge off. Like, it takes the edge off to know that my dad is with all of my animals, and he loves them all. My dad had a big old belly, and he loved dogs that could sit right on his belly. He protects them all. He loved birds. He loved wildlife. He loved every kind of animal. Yeah, the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree here. And so it comforts me to know that he's their companion on the other side of life. Okay, let's see what other comments. Would love that ESP with animals. Self Reiki. Oh yeah, okay, all right. If you guys want to do that, I'll do that for you next week. If you guys would like to see what a Reiki session looks like with an animal, I will be happy to share that with you next week. I also have a video. I have lots of videos. I have a video that is introduction to animal Reiki. I'll put a link to it, or I'll make something in our community. I also have one where I showed a Reiki session where it was full meditation. So it was only meditation, and it's so cool because I love to think about how connected animals are. It was 2 Weimaraners and a little French bulldog, and it was 100% meditation. All I did was go quiet in my mind. I did in my head doing the Reiki meditation. You sit there and watch me do nothing for like, I don't know, it's 15 or 20 minutes. Maybe it's less than that. I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, deep in a Reiki meditation. And these two Weimaraners who are bouncing all over the place get all chill. One of them goes and gets her bed and lays it down right next to me. The little Frenchie curls up in my lap. They all lay down and completely chill. I was dog sitting. I'm in this house all by myself with these three dogs. And then all of a sudden, the dogs, the two Weimaraners, look off into the corner. They're just staring up at the corner. And I'm like, what are you staring at? When I went back and looked at the video, I thought, what are they looking at? They're clearly looking at something that was not there, that wasn't there for me to see. I firmly believe that our animals have the ability to see other animals on the other side. And when I mentioned it to my friend who I was dog sitting for, she said that there was a third Weimaraner who lived in the house who had crossed the side, and she suspected that's who they were looking at. Brooke just started Reiki 1 class. All right. Yeah. All right, you guys. Awesome. I could talk about Reiki, and I never heard the word until 10 years ago. And then once I started understanding Reiki and the power of Reiki with animals, off the charts. So I'll be happy to share that with you guys. Okay. That's the one that made me want to learn more about you. Okay. Yeah. Oh, with the Weimaraners. It was one of the, I couldn't have asked them. I couldn't, if you were going to pay animals I couldn't have asked them to do any better job than when that one Weimaraner went and got her bed and laid her bed down next to me and then laid on the bed. Yeah, it just way beyond my power. It's just so incredible. The beautiful healing energy. It's healing energy. It's the universe. Oh, okay. Different. That's a topic for next week. Okay, let's do our readings. Any questions? Anything else come up there? Yeah, Teresa, they can see the animals who have crossed. If you've ever seen your animal companion stare off into the corner or stare up at something that they're not seeing, they do. They have other signs too. I've seen a couple different things that indicate to me that they are connecting with animals that are, or humans even, that have crossed to the other side. All right, so this one is going to be for Tilo. Tilo, this is really interesting because Tilo is a dog who lives in Germany. And people will ask me, well, how are you able to make a connection with a dog who speaks a different language? Gwen, hello, how are you? Cooper went to sleep on my sheet during a Reiki session. What info do we email for the readings, Elaine? Oh, okay. Oh, if you would like a reading, thank you, because I should do this with every video. I'm new at this. I'm getting the hang of this. I can't wait for a year from now when I go back and look at some of these videos and say, oh my gosh. Read for my pet at gmail.com. So READ and the number 4, my pet at gmail.com. And when you send me an email, I'm up to December, and I'm going to try to go a little faster. I'm going to try to get through them and get caught up as quickly as I can because we're going to be March now. Read for my pet at gmail.com and send me their picture. And if there's anything specific that you want to know, like if there's any questions that you want to ask, there's a couple questions that people always ask, like, did they make it safely to the other side? Are they okay? Do they miss me? Do they know how much I love them? All the answers to those questions, you guys already know the answer to. They never stop loving you, ever, ever, ever. They miss you as much as you miss them. Maybe not quite as much because they feel like they're still with you. They love you no matter where they are. It's just love. Love is, and yes, they never forget you. So that's what you'd want to do. Send me if there's a couple questions that you want to ask them. And I usually always ask for a piece of evidence, at least one piece of evidence. They want to connect with us, and they not only want to connect with us, they want to demonstrate that the information that you're receiving is from them, so that you have some proof, because we're such doubting Thomases. We ask for proof, and they want to be able to give us that proof. The only thing that animals and I don't know if it's animals in particular, and if it's the same with people, is like tricks. Like I've had some people try to trick me, like try to trick me to see if I'm lying or trick me to see if I'm making it up, and I'm like, okay, I can't possibly make some of this stuff up, but if that's what you want to do and see, then I don't know what your agenda is, but that's fine. All right, let's see what else we got. Stare off. Yep. Or start to play. Oh yeah. That's a little freaky every once in a while. Your animal starts to pick up a toy and play with another animal who's not there. I thought about the happiness Jerry gave me for 10 years. For 3 months is not. Oh gosh, yes. Oscar, thank you, because that is how I wanted to wrap up the message about anticipatory grief. Our animal companions, the last thing they want us to do is to be sad for the rest of our lives. We have amazing lives to live. We are here on this planet with amazing things all around us. Yeah, I'm not discounting that there are times of war, that there are things that go on. There's crime, there's poverty, there's all kinds of stuff in this world, but it's part of the life that we are living here. So what can we do to go out there and enjoy life? What's that thing that lights you up? What's that thing that you would be out there doing every day if you possibly could? Your animal companion would tell you, go do it. They'd go do it. They would go do it, no matter what it is. If your animal companion, if there was a cheeseburger left on the counter, I guarantee you Lucy was going to eat it. If there was a piece of chocolate cake, Lucy would tell me, eat the cake, girl, just eat the cake. And they want us to live. And we can cry and we can be sad and we can miss them. So we can miss them so profoundly. But remember what they would have you do. They would have you get out there and do every last little thing that you could possibly do to enjoy life, because that's what they would do. And they'll be right with you by your side. Okay. Ugh. I don't know what that was for. Yep. Do what delights you. Do what lights you up. Yeah, all of it. Okay, let's talk about Tilo. So people ask me how, if a animal is in a different country, how do you know what it is that they want to share? I don't always. There was the dog from Sweden, and I do have a client in France, but really who understands English, so that's not really the same thing. It's not the language, because the language that we're speaking is not words. I receive blocks of information is the best way for me to understand it. You guys know, some of you know that I call it downloads. I go into a meditation, I close my eyes, I quiet my mind, I just get myself all into this, my happy place, my inside happy place. I get there and I just ask for the information. And our bodies and our brains are actually designed for this. We have a pineal gland. I just allow the information to begin to flow, and I just it's like I have a little translator in here that gives me the information, and I don't always get it right. I mean, I just don't always get it right, but I get a pretty good understanding. Sometimes I get visuals. From Tilo, I got a couple different things. So for Tilo's human, and this is for all you guys, and I'm going to try to see if I can do more than just like these 1 or 2 readings every Monday. I'll see if I can get to more. Let me know the things that resonate and the things that don't, because even if I like get a no, like, no, that doesn't make any sense to me. Sometimes I can ask more questions. I can go a little deeper and say, okay, well, if that doesn't make sense, why? And get some more information about that. And we called them Easter eggs this weekend. We were doing a little practicing of mediumship, and I call them Easter eggs, where you may get a piece of information that, like that Easter egg that you may hide, when you have an Easter egg hunt and then you find it a year later, you get a piece of information that you don't immediately understand, but a couple of weeks later you go, oh, right. That makes total sense to me now. So for Tilo, the things that I got right away, the ear ringing. So I'm not quite sure what that meant, but I always, when I get that ringing, that high pitched ringing in my ears, like you hear it every once in a while. I know that some of you hear it as regularly as I do. That ear ring I take it as a sign that I'm receiving information, almost as if like there's a, a computer is trying to give me information. I don't always know what it is, but I got immediately the ear ringing. So if that means anything to you, I would like to know that. And I associated it with a little bit of pain too. I got ear ringing, but I got a sense that that Tilo had pain in the ears, Tilo's eyes, the depth of Tilo's eyes. He shows me eyes that are, and I do have a picture, a couple pictures of Tilo that were sent to me, but goes beyond that. Really deep eyes, almost like the eyes of the horse. For those of you who were there this weekend, there was a horse that we said looked like Hershey bars, look like pools of chocolate. The eyes, and that's what these eyes look like to me. Deep, dark pools, like onyx, that you just want to stare at forever, and that were very knowing, strong sense of intelligence. A very self-aware dog is what I got for Tilo. Horses, and that came up right away. And it's not the kind of horses that we were with this weekend. People will say, well, you were with horses all week. Yeah, but that's not what I got. I got wintertime horses, Clydesdales. They're not Clydesdales. What are those other horses? Those working horses called? I can't think. But I got a visual of strong, powerful working horses and snow. That's what I got for that. Country mouse and city mouse. I'm just kind of reading the notes that I got as I was doing my meditation earlier. Country mouse and city mouse. So is there something about that? Country mouse and city mouse to me is, a story about the country mouse who goes to visit the city and vice versa, and how different they are. So there's something about the country mouse and city mouse. Church bells. I could hear that ringing. So this all had to do with the ears. Lots of ear symbols going on here. Church bells. People trying to trick. Yeah, it's okay. I get it. But isn't it? I think it's funny that sometimes the tables get turned on that, but okay. Angels are getting your attention. Yep. The ear ringing. That's what I truly believe that. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And if I'm in a place where I can like actually receive the download, I do. Okay, let's keep reading this. So I stop looking at the comments. Church bells. I had the sound of church bells. It was a very distinct sound. Big, old church bells came through. Also, old movies. The church bells brought up this visual of old black and white movies for me also. And you trying to brush Tilo's teeth. Oh yeah, that can brushing Tilo's teeth. So if that's a piece of evidence, I would like to know that as well. Tilo, right? Oh yeah, the eyes. With the eyes, this came up for me once before, and I can't think of the name of the dog, but this is what I visualized with Tilo on the other side. That big flying dog. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's a big white dog, big ears, and a small boy rides on his back, and they go flying all through the fantasy world that they live in. But that's what I thought about with Tilo. And then also a white wolf, a visual of a white wolf came through. And then if there is a message for Tilo's human, I'm just there. I'm sorry. I normally don't get this level of emotion. Like it's a really, really deep. There's some other loss. There's some other loss that Tilo's human has gone through. And to lose Tilo made it even harder. And he's saying that you can talk to them both. Whoever, there was some other kind of loss. And Tilo is asking you to let, I don't even know if Tilo is a him or a her. I'm asking my guides right now, my beautiful animal collective, to share with me that I'm getting the sense that it's a him. But I honestly don't know that. But that Tilo will help you work through that loss. Tilo will send you some sign Feathers. Why am I seeing feathers everywhere? I'm not in a place where there's feathers. I've got feathers coming through everywhere. Tilo, there's going to be a host of feathers. There's going to be feathers everywhere. You're going to get a sign from Tilo letting you know that he is there to help you heal, and that the time has come to heal from whatever that other loss is. And I'm not getting a sense of what that loss is. I can't tell if it's another person or another animal. Just this really, really deep, profound sense of loss that Tilo's human is going through. But Tilo's ready to help us heal. He's ready to help heal. Okay. Falcor, Diana, that's it. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. The never-ending story. Oh, he's a dragon. I see him as a dog. I see this beautiful dog with long ears flying through the... That's funny. Okay. The never-ending story. Yes, thank you guys. Never-ending story. Jess, I got to find out, like, if you're from Wisconsin, because I spent a great deal of time in Wisconsin. Just blocked myself. I'm not 100% sure what that means. And the Animal Collective. Yeah. So the Animal Collective, guys, we decided when we all were meeting this weekend for this event that the Animal Collective is there for everybody. The Animal Collective happens to be what I call the group of animals. Now, I have worked with hundreds of animals who have crossed. Either I've worked with them personally or I've had the honor of doing a reading with them. And they've all come together into this beautiful collective. And they have so much information to share. And sometimes one, I'm inclined to call them Jack. Like, that keeps coming to me that they're supposed to be named Jack as one name. But sometimes one or two of them will come through specifically. And sometimes it's like a group message that comes through. But yeah, they're the ones who inspire me, by the way. When I talk about the topic that we are going to each week talk about, it comes from them, not from me. Like, none of that comes from me. It's from them. Like, they want me to teach you Reiki next week. So I will give you a little introduction to Reiki, animal Reiki. I'll give you an introduction to animal Reiki next week. And for somebody who said they were practicing self Reiki, that's a beautiful healing practice. And I will show you a quick one right now for everybody. If you guys want to practice this, it's a Hawaiian practice, not a Reiki practice. Had to move and feel bad as I got memories of the cat. Oh, you got blocked in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm somehow, I don't always know how these chats work. Reiki on myself. So I'll include that for next week. We'll just do like it'll be like a quick little intro because Reiki is a class. And if you want to learn animal Reiki, I will teach it to you. But I will give us a little demonstration of animal Reiki next week. And I will also give you a little self-healing session. But I want to show you Lomi Lomi. Lomi Lomi is in the Hawaiian tradition, just like Ho'oponopono. So many cultures have this beautiful healing tradition. All you do is take one hand and you place it on your heart. You take one hand and place it on your heart because your heart is so strong and so beautiful and so full of love. And if you want to think about all the beautiful, amazing things about your animal companion, just let your heart swell. Whatever it takes to make your heart swell. Go hold a baby goat. We held baby goats this weekend too. Think about baby goats. Go look at a cute video. Whatever it takes to just start to open your heart a little bit. You place your hand on your heart, and then you take your other hand, and I breathe in, and I imagine that I'm breathing in this beautiful shaft of light, this wonderful shining light that just comes glowing from above me. I can see it up there, glowing and sparkling, and it comes right down into me, and it fills me so full of love, and I let this love flow through my body and out my hand. And then I can take this hand and I can place that love anywhere on my body that I choose to. I could hold it on my heart. I can hold it right here on my third eye. I could just hold my hand out and let the love flow all around me. That is Lomi Lomi or Kahi, either one. It's one hand on heart or one hand on heart and one hand just sharing all the beautiful healing energy that surrounds you. Okay, my friends. Helped with grief. It really does help with grief. Reiki is a beautiful way to help with grief. And Okay, I think we are all good. That kind of wraps things up for tonight. Oh my gosh, we went really long. And I will see you guys all again next week. Don't hesitate to send me your requests, send questions. I will be a little bit, now that I'm not farm sitting, which really was quite intensive this week. I will put some more things in our community as well. And I will look forward to sharing a little bit of animal Reiki next week. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week, and I will see you all again soon. Take care, and may animals light your way.